Hi guys, it's Daniela. Welcome to my channel, Ground Your Life with DZ. Today I just wanted to do something a little bit different, although if you watched my previous remote view, similar in a way, where I'm going to describe a remote viewing that that came to my experience just a few days ago, and then some research that I did afterwards to clarify some of the things that I viewed. So if you're not familiar with what remote viewing is, sometimes it might be referred to as astral traveling, but basically it's like uh, viewing um, another place, another location, another dimension at the time that you're still, awake. So rather than a dream, it's usually when you're awake. Although you can, I suppose, remote view an astral travel when you're dreaming, but when you're asleep. But these have occurred when I was awake and meditating. Um, anyway, I'll skip to what I actually what I actually saw, and it's quite some of the information and viewing is quite confronting. And I really don't know how it's going to be taken today. So I appreciate your comments at the end of this. And it's taken me a few days to sort of piece some things together, and I still don't know exactly where it's headed and where it's going and why I was shown this, but I'm going to bring it to you guys now. So I was basically taken to the Flinders Street area of Melbourne, so Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, and that's a main train station in the heart of the CBD. And I was taken to sort of show some underground areas there, but I didn't believe that was the point of the remote view because it didn't take me down that pathway to research. What I was shown wasn't because it was fitting, we just had the Moomba Festival. I was shown the Moomba Festival, and I specifically then was shown the Zig and Zag clowns. Now, I'm not sure if any of you were fans of the Moomba Festival or watched it on TV. If you did or ever went to it, you would probably be aware of these two clowns, Zig and Zag, a taller one and a shorter one. And I'm going to show you on the iPads in a minute just to show you, after I've spoken, I'll show you some images just to refresh your memory and some of the things that came to light for me. And so Zig and Zag were clowns that were actually associated, which I didn't know until I researched, with the Peter's ice cream. And there was a show called Peter's Fun Fair, and it was apparently on, I think, Saturday nights. I never watched it, probably because I was too young, but in the 60s, I think for roughly 10 years. Correct me if I'm wrong, you can write in the comments. And so it was all about promoting Peter's ice cream, but then also with children and fun and games and things like that. And it was something that the children would watch. And anyway, I just thought that was a bit odd and weird that they were promoting Peter's ice cream. And even when they were at Moomba Parade, the Moomba Festival, they would be promoting Peter's ice cream with their little cone hats and things, which I'll show you soon. So, the ice cream is one symbology that some of you might associate with certain things. But the face paint that they had was interesting. As a clown, you can have different types of face paint, but it was specifically sort of around here, and I'll show you again on some photos. But I could see the distinction in the opposite direction of light and dark with the panda eyes, which those of you who are familiar with certain topics would be familiar with. But then I wanted to look up Moomba Festival and what it actually meant or stood for, or why it was started. And I found different things. But what I did actually find, and correct me if I'm wrong, that in the Aboriginal language or a certain language, it means the mum like mum is like the bottom, bottom, and then the ba or a is the mum, and then the ba is like the at or in or up. And so basically in translation, and I've never heard this before, it means like up the bum, up the bottom, in the bottom. And if you think about that as a large collective festival of Melbourne with often millions of people that go now, it's like saying, okay, it's like a ritual up the bum. If you could actually translate it to even like being raped in a way of it's a ritualistic festival in a negative way. This was the vision that I was getting, and to bring light to that, and that the Zig and Zag clowns were part of that. They were it was a ritual. Their symbolism was ritualistic in a negative way. Interestingly, then when I looked up Zig and Zag, I found out, I didn't know this because I actually was interviewed. I was in the Moomba Festival parade, a float for gymnastics, because I did gymnastics, and I was about 10 years old, between 10 and 12 years old, and I got interviewed by Rod Quantock. I'm not sure if you're aware of who he was. He was one of the main interviewers that used to interview the floats, the people on the floats through the parade. And so I physically saw Zig and Zag there, and I always thought they were a little bit creepy. But when I researched them, I didn't realize that Zig, I'm pretty sure, so it's Jack Perry and Douglas Mackenzie were the two men. And Zig was Jack Perry, and he was actually convicted of child molestation or child abuse claims of his granddaughter in the time that he was at the Moomba Festival doing the Zig and Zag clown act. And in 1999, they were crowned the monarchs. It's sort of like the king and the queen, or the two kings of the festival. And they were about to be crowned. And then the big controversy with his conviction came out, and then they got stripped of the monarch king crown. I thought that was interesting. Anyway, long story short, I did a lot of different research because I was feeling compelled that I needed to research a little bit more into the Zig and Zag clowns, the Moomba, and some other kind of ritualistic themes going on. And what I found after finding what you call it, a chronological order of events of Moomba, and it talked all about the history of Moomba, who had been in Moomba, different controversies, different great events that had happened, who had been crowned, etc., etc. And I came across this controversy of this Melbourne Australian theatre company called the Snuff Puppets. And as soon as I saw the Snuff Puppets, I thought, wow, that's a really weird name. Like, that's a little bit, if you understand certain other themes of the word, snuff, that's a really weird name to have for a theatre company. If you're aware of this theatre company, I'm going to show you on a screen. I'm going to show you on the screen in a minute of their website. But if you're familiar with this theatre company, let me know. If I'm just jump into conclusions, let me know. If you think it's odd, let me know. But I think the name Snuff Puppets is a really odd name, and a little bit, ooh. So what I will do is I'll turn this around so we can have a bit of a look. And I'll just bring this down so we can see, first of all, the clowns. All right, so we have here, I've just Googled Zig and Zag, the clowns, and images that come up. So I'll just show you one of the iconic sort of images of them here. I don't know if I can make it any bigger. You can see the eyes. If you would reverse that from white to black, the panda eyes, and what that associated with in terms of child pedophilia or sodomy. I don't know what words I can say on this channel. I found that was very odd that they did dress like this with this makeup, but I'm not familiar with clown makeup too much, and but I just thought that was an interesting theme. And you can see, some of that's pretty much how they sort of always dressed. That's Jack Perry there, the one that was convicted, the shorter one here. And then they had the Peter's ice cream. So they always had the Peter's ice cream, and I thought that was interesting, like, why were clowns for years and years associated with ice cream? But anyway, that's Zig and Zag. Then I just wanted to bring you to the Snuff Puppets website, which feel free to go and have a look yourself. Now, there's some images there, but what I'll do is I'll go to their actual website. Okay, so this is just their website. They've got this kind of like fishbone. Is that what it is? A fishbone? Fishbone as their icon. Not sure what you would call it. Icon. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. There's animals and whatever, but I just want to show you, okay, one of their previous shows. If you go to one of their first shows, it looks like it's called Scary. And they have these kind of like scary monsters, I think they're called scullies, with these weird eyes and teeth. Um, and if we go to under news, so here they are, there's some more scullies. If we go, here's another scully. So apparently they roam the streets, even doing some protests and things on like climate change and stuff like that. If my kids saw this kind of scully monster, you know, my young kids were out in the street and saw them, I would cover their eyes. I think they're scary. Like I had to look at these scullies and think, why are they roaming the streets and people think they're funny? I thought that this was really interesting. It's under their news and it's Puppet Masters, and it's kind of like a lot of their different shows put together. So over here we have the butcher, and the butcher obviously must butcher people, and there's sort of blood and guts. There's an inside out man, so I'm not sure if that's the inside out man, but in one of their puppets is like an inside out. They're just like large roaming puppets that do live theatre. You can go and book to their shows, but they also do roaming events around like the city and things like that. And they have a baby, a big giant baby, and I thought that was really interesting. With all these scullies hanging around this baby, like if I was a baby, had all these kind of scary monsters around me, I'd be a bit scared. So I just thought that that was kind of odd. Tell me what you think. In one of their drop downs, you've got snuff lovers. Interesting. Snuff lovers. You can donate $1,000 if you're a snuff lover. Their shop was quite interesting because you can buy a heart if you want, but I thought, butcher doll. Yeah, something that I'd love to buy is a butcher doll. Yep, okay. And anyway, you can have a bit of a look around, but I really did think that the Scully dolls were quite satanic looking. Look at that. You would want one of those in your house? Anyway, don't know if I'm jumping to conclusions, but not sure how it happened. My my remote view led me to the snuff puppets, and apparently I was led to do a video about the snuff puppets for you. So leave in your comments what you think about Zig and Zag, Moomba. Oh yeah, also, sorry, they also have a body parts one. Let's see if I can show you. They have, somewhere along anyway, they have human body parts. I thought that was interesting. They're human body parts. Oh, we should have had some more photos there. There are photos there. There's like vaginas and penises and poos, and was a big lady giving birth and stuff like that. But I don't know. She got hit by a brick. I saw. I'll try to put some of the news in those news articles that I found. There's a tongue licking. No, but the body parts one I can't find right now, but it's very interesting if you go and have a look on there yourself. And even I'll add some articles to this description. So just a bit of a different video today, and tell me what you think. Please like and subscribe. Please hit the bell button if you are interested in this channel. Share with anyone you think might resonate with this, and I'm really interested to know people's comments about this topic because it just came to light last week and I wasn't asking for it. Love to you all. Bye.